Mm-hmm.
I wonder who's the first person joining.
But you said you're not gonna distract me, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, puppy, but you have to sit there because mommy's gonna go on now.
Okay. Can I sit here?
No, sit that side.
Okay, I'm coming.
No, don't sit there. Just leave that and then sit on the bed.
They can still see me.
Sit over there. You said you're not going to distract me. You promised that you're not going to distract me.
Yeah, but I want to look.
Hello, Rambi. So we're just waiting for Nthabi to join. I have my little man here. He wanted to be in the room with me and he promised that he's not going to distract me. So let's see how that goes. You were asking, you wonder who's going to join there. She's joined.
That's the girl that you're going to interview.
No. I'm waiting for her. She's gonna go on just now soon. Hello everybody. So just sitting tight, waiting for Nthabiseng to join. How crazy. We are on day 100 of lockdown. Like I didn't think we'd still be here at this point, but here we are, surviving, making the most of what we have. But I'm actually like really, really, really tired of it. I'm sick of it because I'm quite free-spirited, so not being able to do the things that usually fill my cup has become a little bit frustrating. Yay, there comes Nthabi. So let me just accept her request.
Chocolate.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. But what's new?
Lumelo motle.
Thank you. Sure. I love the face. Like you've got to teach me. I know sometimes I look at your posts and you're like, it took you a while to get some things right, but I feel like I'm ready for you to teach me.
No, I don't think I'm at a point where I can give out lessons, honestly, because I'm still learning my face as well. Like
Still
for me,
learning. What?
yeah.
I'm saying still learning where? There's nothing, everything is like here.
Thank you.
No, it's a
But
pleasure.
I am still learning. Well, if I get my face right like this, when I've got it right like this, like for me, it's an achievement. It's a huge accomplishment. So I'm
Wow.
still learning.
Sure. Can I just tell you when I was, because normally, obviously, these happen every Saturday, so I've got to do, stuff to my face, make myself look a little bit pretty. And I was like, yo, Kukupadi eyebrows, it's like I didn't think simple too, because I was talking about Lena in conversation. She is proper, so.
But you know what they say, Kari Aypromosore, they are cousins, not sisters. So don't stress. They don't have to be perfect.
That's true. I mean, naturally, they never look perfect anyway. I don't. It's not pressure, yana. How do you like a makeup? Or it must be 100% or even
Yeah.
200%.
I hope you
Yeah.
don't mind. I have popcorn to keep me company. And also, I am with Leroux. So if you see her come here, please don't mind her.
Oh no, I could never mind that. I completely understand me being a mom myself. Boka has also been coming in and out of the room, and I'm like, boy, I'm having my conversation now. He's like, but I'm not going to distract you. But I know every so often he'll probably pop in as well, so I don't mind at all. And
Cool.
yeah, cool. Let's go for it. So thank you, firstly, to agreeing to be featured as a queen on the Royal Corner because I really think you're absolutely a queen. And I just thought let's chat because there's a lot that Nthabiseng, the name Nthabiseng comes with so much. So I think the first question, just to start us off, is for you to tell us who Nthabiseng is.
Yeah, that question sounds so easy, but to respond to it, like it takes so much because you have to think. You have to think and make sure that you cover everything. So let's see. Nthabiseng is obviously a woman. She's a almost 29-year-old woman who's also a wife, a mom, to a 2 years and how old is she? 2 years and 6 months. Yeah, to a two
It's
year
only
and six
two.
months baby girl. Yeah, she's just almost 3. She's 3 in January. So yeah, she's almost 3. And I'm also a career woman. I work for a bank, and I am a digital content creator. I'm also a sister, a friend, a cousin, etc., etc. But I think in a nutshell or at face value, that's who I am, you know. Before you dig deep into understanding yeah, this face.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, in a nutshell, I think that's who I am. Or
Okay.
that's who Nthabiseng
Sure.
is. Mm.
Wow, thank you for that. And I think so for me, part of wanting to feature you on the platform is because I think I always look up to people who sort of challenge the status quo or almost break free from it's sort of boxes that people like to put others in. So I look at you being the career woman that you are, you being in risk management and also doing so well with the content creation. I mean, I look at your page and I'm like, geez, wow. And I really love how authentic a lot of what you put out is because you throw in your Sesotho, you share your family life with us, and it's also so refreshing to see a young wife, a young mother who's juggling all these balls and really thriving at it in my perspective. So how do you do it? How do you still manage to so you got your risk management job during the day and then you're doing this content creation that you're also very, very good at. How do you do it?
I think for me it takes a lot of planning. Like I'm a Virgo to the core. I like to plan, and I am a little bit OCD, so I need to know when things should happen, how they should happen, and in order for me to have that comfort, I need to put it down in paper and plan. So I plan my days and I plan exactly the stuff that I need to do. And so that's part of it. But I think also another thing is having a great support structure. So, my husband is amazing in that if I need to do for example, if I need to do my content creation and my other personal stuff, then he's there to sort of hold the fort while I'm busy with other stuff. But like I said, like for me, it takes a lot of planning. When I know that for this week, these are the things that I need to tackle from my work perspective and also my personal capacity with my social media. I mean, not taking away the fact that it is still work as well, but I mean, because it's something I'm not doing full time, for me, I still consider it like a hobby or something I'm doing in my personal capacity. But yeah, so with both of them, I just make sure that I plan ahead. I plan my working week. I plan it ahead to know that this is what needs to happen at work, and also in my personal capacity, this is what I need to do from a content creation perspective. If I need to post a picture on my Instagram, like, believe it or not, I plan for that picture. Like, this is the picture I'm gonna post. I'm gonna take that picture on a Saturday. Like, you see, for example, today I put on makeup, so I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I'm gonna take some pictures, and I know exactly when I'm gonna post those pictures, and then after that I'll say, okay, in the afternoon, in the morning, I'm also gonna shoot videos for my YouTube channel, because I have a YouTube channel as well. So yeah, I'll do that. In the morning I'll shoot for YouTube. I'll take pictures for my Instagram, and then during the week, then it'll mostly be my work stuff that I give a lot of attention to. And it helps in that if I've planned all of this, if I've taken pictures, and if I've done videos, then my week it becomes easier to manage, because I know that I'm only focusing on one thing. I'm only focusing on my career, and all the other stuff I've tackled during the weekend. So, and I also try to do a lot of things in one day. I haven't been getting it right, but like what I mean is on a Saturday, I'll take 3 pictures. If I'm doing a campaign, I'll also shoot for that campaign to make sure that during the week, like it alleviates that pressure of having to do a lot of stuff. Then I know that during the week it's just posting, and then and also just doing my work. And yeah, like I said, it's just trying to make sure that I plan my
Yeah.
days, I plan what I need to do. And on days when I'm falling short, I know that my husband is there to really, like, be my yeah, to sort of help with everything else that needs to be taken care of, because there's a lot. I mean, there's also the cooking that I have to do, there's also the cleaning, there's also looking after Leruo as well. So if I plan and I have routine and I have him to fall back on when I'm falling short, then I feel like it just makes things a bit easier for me.
Wow. Sure.
So yeah.
That's actually so powerful. I think planning, you're highlighting something very important, just the importance of planning. And people think, I think, when you are a digital content creator, people see stuff and it's like all perfect, and they actually don't know how much work goes into it. So I'm glad that you're actually emphasizing that, to say you're not going to waste today where you've done your face. You're going to take pictures of today, and there will be an appropriate time to share that on your feed, because you become very, very good at it. And also to hear you say, mentioning your husband, Katlego, being a very good support structure, obviously, to ensure that the household still runs with all these balls that you're juggling. I think that's amazing. I think that is so amazing. And I heard you mention that you obviously, so there's all the other stuff that you have to do, like the cooking and the cleaning. So there's no one in the household to help you other than your husband. You don't have help, so you've got to do that yourself.
Yeah, so I do everything myself. I do all the cleaning, I do all the cooking, and looking after Leruo and all of that. I do it myself.
Wow.
Yeah, so we do have someone that now, since level 3, I think, we do have someone that comes in once a month to clean. But I mean, the majority of the work I do it myself. But like I said, yeah, like I said, with the planning, it just makes it a lot more easier, because I know exactly what needs to be tackled first, when and how, and it just makes it easier for me. And yeah, obviously my husband as well is just amazing, and he helps with the cooking sometimes as well. The cooking is not only done by myself. He does the cooking sometimes. He helps with cleaning. So, I mean, I'm not going to forget to credit him as well in this. He does help me. But most of the time, I'm the one, obviously, that's making sure that the household runs. And yeah, and it's not easy. I will not lie. It's not the easiest of things. But I feel like I enjoy it. I feel like for me, it just happens with such grace. And I'm in a point where, or I'm in a space where I believe that everything is happening the way it should be. So that's why I do it with such grace, and I embrace the season that I'm in as well. The fact that, my daughter is not going to school because we're in lockdown, and I have to be there for her 100% of the time. I'm trying to forget about the fact that it's a lot of work, etc., etc., but just being grateful that I get to spend that time with her, and I get to learn her more, and just be there for her development and her growth. So it just makes it easier, like looking at it from a different perspective, and not feeling like everything is a chore, but just appreciating, the season that I'm in, and looking for the positives, basically, in all the things that needs to happen.
Wow. Sure. Somebody's just commented to say they're so proud of you, and I'm also incredibly proud of you. And looking at your journey, and you mentioned Leruo and how it's important to you to obviously make sure that you're there and you're present. I love how I often watch your videos with her, where you are affirming her. That's such a beautiful thing, where you're reminding her how beautiful she is. She's not too young to hear it, because sometimes people will be like, oh man, she's still a baby. But I love how you affirm her, because I think your presence and that affirmation coming from your parent, they never ever have to seek validation elsewhere. So that's kudos to you for that. You're doing a really great job, a really phenomenal
Yeah, I
job.
think that is some. Thank you. Thanks. That is something that is just so close to my heart. I'm even almost about to cry because you know, like as women, we struggle a lot with insecurities and confidence, and being there myself and raising a young woman or a little girl, like that is the last thing I want her to experience, because it's not a good space to be in, and it takes a lot of work to get out of. And I honestly don't even think that I'm at a point where right now I am. Oh my word, I just saw coming from my husband. Anyway.
I saw that too. I was like, oh, Happy is here. Yeah.
So it takes a lot of work to get out of that, you know, of that situation where you dealing with or trying to get out of these insecurities, or be not being confident enough and not be believing in yourself. It's a work in progress, and like I was saying, I don't think that I'm at a point where I've got it on lock 100%. It's still a work in progress, but I feel like had I had someone that reminded me every single day of how important I am, how enough I am, how I shouldn't compare myself with to anyone else, and you know how what I'm doing is good enough, I feel like it would have made things a bit easier. So that's what I'm trying to do with her. I'm trying to make sure that I assure her that, listen, you don't need anyone's validation. You don't need to compare yourself with anyone. You know, you are good enough, and people are different. Everyone is good in their own right, and whether you can't sing like someone else or you don't have a body that looks like someone else does not mean you are less than. You're still good enough, you know. So that's the one thing I just want to get right with her, because I know how much self-confidence and self-esteem in a young woman can have, you know, such a huge impact when they grow up in the corporate space, engaging with other people, meeting new people, making new friends. Like, it has such a huge impact. So yeah, that's just the one thing I hope I get right with her. Everything else, honestly, it comes second. I just want to make sure that she knows that she's a good enough woman, and she does not need anyone else to validate her. And as long as I, as the parent, and not only me, but God as well, the person that created her, as long as we look at her, you know, and we see this miracle, this beautiful creation, then that is all that she will ever need, really.
Wow. Sure. That's a beautiful thing. And I think also being a woman yourself, knowing what some of these challenges are and starting quite early on, I think she will be so thankful later on when she realizes the impact that's had on her as a woman. There's a question. So the question is that what were the challenges that you faced in the digital content creation space, and what have those challenges taught you about yourself being a content creator? What are some of the
So
challenges?
the one thing I can think about right now is how, you know, a lot of people are so um entitled to information. So because I share information and I share my life and or bits and pieces of my life, there are certain people that feel so entitled, like they deserve to know everything else, you know. And like, I literally show you a finger and you want to see the entire hand. And for me, for me, it's like I'm not in this space because so firstly, I feel like this influencing thing, it chose me. I did not sign up to become an influencer. And I'm not saying that to sound arrogant or anything, but it just so happened that I started getting a lot of following and you know, like a lot of engagement and whatever. And then I just thought from there, let me actually make something out of this, you know. I didn't even know about influencing until at a later point in my digital, you know, space, when I was, I think, at like 15,000 followers. That's when I was like, oh, someone said, oh, I want to invite you because you're an influencer, I want to invite you to an event. And I'm like, I'm an influencer. What does that even mean? So I didn't even know about I didn't even know about influencing until at a later stage. So for me, that's why it's very easy to just influence, because I'm literally just sharing my life. I don't have to work too hard to be an influencer, because I'm just sharing what I'm doing behind closed doors or offline. Do you know what I mean? So so the one thing, yeah, the one challenge that I've really faced is people feeling so entitled that they deserve to know everything else about my life when I'm choosing to share what I want to share. And I feel like I'm not compelled to tell you everything. And we have a little guest here, guys.
Hello,
Say hi
Rui.
again, Bone.
Hello, cutie
Say
pie.
hi.
Hello, beautiful.
Say
Yo,
hi.
she looks so much. She looks so much like Dad. She's so gorgeous. Yo,
She does. Okay, go eat your popcorn, eh?
Achum,
Go
she's
sit
such a.
there and eat your popcorn. I'm
Let her
coming,
sit
Mama.
in.
I'm coming. Go eat your
Maybe
popcorn. Okay, are you gonna be
it's
quiet?
fine. She
Are you
can be
gonna be
part of
quiet?
it. Yes, Rui, say, Mommy, I want to be part of this. I want to.
You're
Yeah,
gonna be quiet again.
she's so
So
relaxed.
yeah, and I mean, apart from that, also is the unsolicited advice that you will get from people. And I think I've shared this before on my Insta stories, where there was a week when I was working out, and then people just came onto my DMs telling me I'm too skinny, or I'm gonna be even more skinny if I continue working out, and I must try and gain some weight, etc., etc. So it's like trying to, and I do get a lot of those. Even now, I don't share them because I feel like they're not worth it. So it's just about understanding that whatever it is that people are saying to me, they are projecting, and it does not necessarily have to do with me, because I'm comfortable with being skinny. I'm happy with my weight. But if someone's going to see a problem in my body, then I mean, it's something that they are insecure about in theirs. So it's just a matter of me being in a position or in a good space to tell myself that, no, sis, I'm happy with who I am. You're not gonna come here and tell me that I'm too skinny and expect that I'm gonna go cry in a corner because of your opinion. So you keep it to yourself. So yeah, it's just learning to deal with criticism and not like giving it, and not giving people who unsolicited. It's not even criticism, because sometimes criticism can be good, but unsolicited advice. It's just learning to say, this is not about me, so I'm not even gonna entertain that. And yeah, that's basically, I think those are the two things I can think of right now. So that the advice that you don't ask for, that one I get most of the time. Most of the time. um and yeah, I think those are the two I can think of at the moment.
Okay. No, you've got such a. I think you've got such a maturity about it. Because I think social media can be very cruel. It can be very, very cruel. So it sounds like your head is right, it's solid, you know who you are, so you don't need to be shaken by people's opinions. And that's such a powerful place to be. So I'm really, really happy to hear that. Now, you were speaking about how influencing has found you. I think it really has. I mean, I look at what you share, and I think your bio says in your bio it says the world loved her for being, I can't quote it verbatim, but being effortlessly yourself. And that's
Yeah.
what it's what consistently comes through. You've got such, I think there's so much style and elegance that you come with. So the stuff that you share, we're just like, wow, okay. And I love the fact that you can tell some of them, it's not even that you're like you partnered, it's not a sponsorship, it's none of that. You're just like, listen, I got this piece of furniture from this place. So I love that you share that with us, because it's also so refreshing. You don't find that a lot. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah, thanks. I think the easiest thing about being an influencer is not trying too hard to position yourself to be in a certain way. I think being yourself, sharing what you do, sharing what I eat, and if a brand ya dijo in Mpatla, it will find me because they know that I eat mutoko in the morning, and I'm not trying to hide that I eat. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was saying that, you know, if I'm eating soft porridge in the morning, I'm sharing that. That's what I eat. So a brand that wants to partner with me will come because they saw that this is what I eat, and it's my day to day. You know, if I'm sharing stuff that I use to clean my house with, it's things that I'm using, but I'm not putting it out there because I'm trying to connect with a particular brand just for having a sponsorship deal or whatever. But it's literally just something that works for me and works for my home, or works for my daughter as well. What do you want? Or works for my daughter as well and works for my home. so so yeah, I think it's just not trying too hard, just coming out right and being yourself and sharing with the world who you are and letting people understand you and know you for who you really are. It makes it easy for people to connect with you and for people to engage with you because they feel like they're literally talking to the girl next door. And
Yeah.
that's what I really want. I don't want someone seeing me as an influencer. Even like I don't really like to use that word. I don't like being referred to as an influencer, because I feel like you know when you're in risk management, that is a profession. You're a risk manager, but you can separate from being a risk manager. So I feel like professions you can separate from because you are a different person before you are a risk manager. So that's why I'm saying that, like, if someone says I'm an influencer, I sort of can't connect with that notion because I just want to be the girl next door. Maybe you can say I do have influence. I am Nthabiseng, but I do have influence, but I'm not necessarily an influencer, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. No, I get
So
it. I get it. And you mentioned, so obviously you've got being a digital content creator, there's different platforms, and there was actually a question. So I think also the fact that you've got your YouTube channel and all of that. So there was a question that came through to say which platform do you prefer and why? So is it Instagram? How's it working for you, and how different is it from YouTube, for example? What does that look like?
So for me, I prefer Instagram over YouTube. Um, and simply because Instagram is very easy. Like, for me personally, it does not require a lot of effort. Like, I can literally just pick up my phone and tell you guys my crazy stories about my neighbors or an experience I had, Yes, mama. Thank you. An experience that I came across or whatever. So it's very, very easy in that it does not require me to go and, like, get dressed and then sit behind the camera and be poised. Because there's some videos where when you are filming a YouTube video, you must sit down and be poised and act a certain way and sound professional or sound a certain way. Whereas with Instagram, literally you pick up your phone and you're just yourself. And also with the pictures that I'm posting, I don't have to say a word. Like, literally, I just, I get dressed and go post somewhere and take a picture and upload it. So I like it in that regard that it's not a lot of work. It does not require a lot of effort. And as someone that is, I'm not that talkative. I don't really like talking that much. So for me it works better because I don't have to say a lot of things. I just post for pictures, literally, and if I want to say something, I'll say it on my stories and it will be gone after 24 hours. Whereas on YouTube, what you put out there, people can hold you against it. If you didn't sound right in this video, then people will always make reference that, oh, that video you said this and that, and they could misread what you had said and hold you against it, whatever. So it's just a lot that goes into the work you put on YouTube. You really need to think about it. You really need to do your research. You need to prepare properly. So for me, Instagram just works easily. It's just literally taking pictures and thinking of a caption. And for me, it also is not a lot of work thinking of captions because I just write what I'm experiencing at that particular point. So yeah, for me, I prefer Instagram. And I think also because that's where my influencing started to get recognition from my Instagram. So, and that's where a lot of people engage with me on and find it easier to just engage with me on. So I feel like, yeah, Instagram is my number one. If I could choose, I'd honestly like stop doing YouTube videos and just carry on with my Instagram.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
thing, what are you doing to me?
YouTube is a lot of
Sorry.
work. That's fine. You know, I'm seeing so many comments coming through, and it's how I've experienced you as well. And I'm glad I also like know you from a personal perspective. Just your authenticity. Someone earlier on said you're still the same Nthabiseng from university that they met. I used to work with you at some point, you know, and you are still the same Nthabiseng that I know. You know, you don't hold yourself like, you know, sometimes when people, because you become this influencer, the fact that you don't want to use that term is a completely different story, but it hasn't gone to your head where you're almost like untouchable. We can't reach out to you. We can't talk to you. And I remember sending you a text and saying, friend, I think you knew this was coming. The fact that I wanted to, because you obviously have seen that I've posted where I said I'm interviewing people, and I was like, you must have known that this is coming, and you received me so well. So I think your authenticity is definitely something that sets you apart from the rest, and it's refreshing. Keep it. I laughed at your story. There's a story you posted, I think, a week ago, where when you were stuck with petrol because you had been putting it off to put it on.
Oh yeah, no, I've learned my lesson. I'm not that girl anymore. Okay.
I'm glad. I learned from you because I'm that girl who's like, I know my car, man. What is that painting? I know we can still keep going. But when I saw your video, I was just like, okay, I'm not trying to get stuck in a drive-through as well from petrol. So I am
Yeah.
learning through interview. So we love that about you. We love that big time. And now, so just in terms of while we're still, just to close off, I think on the content creation, because you obviously mentioned that influencing others found you, and if like a company finds you, then they found you. How has that journey gone? Because I know sometimes, like you said, you were invited to a thing because you were told that you are an influencer, and now suddenly you're thrust into this world where you have to start billing people. How do you navigate that? Like, how do you even know? Because I know they're called like rate cards, because companies will ask you for your rate card, and how do you navigate that world? Like, how does that? And even do they always approach you? Are there some companies that you've approached? So how does that work?
So for most of my collaborations that I've done, I have been approached by brands, and they will just usually send you an email. On my bio, I do, yeah. Okay, I do
Yes,
have
girl.
my share. You can have all of it. It's fine.
Oh, she's wanting to share. That's so cute. Oh man.
Yeah. Okay, Mama. Do you wanna go sit there? You don't? Okay. Okay. Here. So most of the time I've been approached by brands. There are a few that I have reached out to with no success. Yeah, I've reached out to about 2 or 3 brands with no success, and but the most part is the brands that I've worked with have reached out to me, and they will usually do that via email or via DM with an agency that they will work with. Okay, we done. You done? Okay. Okay,
Big girl. Very good girl. Bye bye, Rui. Love you.
Sharp, I'll see you just now, okay? Okay. So, so yeah, most of the brands that I've worked with have reached out to me, and they will usually, like I said, reach out via email, and they will propose what they want to do, what they want to achieve with the collaboration. And if you're interested, then you'll say, yes, I would love to work with you. And for me, the decision is based purely on whether the brand that is trying to collaborate with me is relevant to or is in alignment with my brand. like, for example, I wouldn't work with brutal food because I don't drink alcohol. Like, it would be shocking. So, so I'd look at whether it's relevant. Is it part of is it in alignment with my brand? And if it is, then obviously I will agree to working with them, and then they will request for a rate card, and then I will provide that. And it's very difficult because the influencing world is not regulated, so you don't, like, people charge different amounts according to how they see fit. So I look at my brand and I'll say that because of my engagement and because of the amount of work I need to do, and because of a whole lot of other factors that are involved, sometimes if I'm working with Leroy, it's a lot of work to work with a toddler, as you can imagine. So all of those things will then factor into the rate I will give to the brand. And it's not to say that they will always agree to the rate that I'm proposing. Sometimes they come with a budget and they say, look, we have this amount of money, this much money, and this is our budget. Unfortunately, we can't get more. Are you happy to continue with us? And sometimes it could be less than what I charge. And depending on the value proposition and whether the brand speaks to my audience and the brand speaks to who I am, then that's something that I will consider to say, you know what? The money part does not matter that much. I'm building a relationship with this brand, and what I'm getting out of it also, it will be great for my brand as well. So then I will agree in continuing to do that collaboration. But sometimes they do consider your rate, and then if you want to also what's the word, negotiate, if you want to negotiate, for example, for better raise, you can do that. And if they do have budget available, then they're in a position to say, okay, we do have budget available, we can increase it. Or sometimes if they don't have budget available, then I can say, okay, for the content that you want me to do, then let's at least cut a few things and only do like one post or one video, because I am not gonna do 5 posts for the amount of money that you're giving me. And if you really want to work with me, then you will then agree that we do only 2 posts, and then you are proposing. And basically that's how it will work. And then obviously I will then shoot my content, send it to them for approval. They always have to approve the content before it gets posted. And sometimes they'll tell you, no, this is not what we're looking for. Please go and reshoot. And that's what I hate the most about it, because the work that goes into creating content is a lot. Like, mentally, it is exhausting because you literally have to plan everything. Like, I have to plan my aesthetic. I have to plan where I'm gonna shoot it, the location, and what I'm gonna wear, the outfits. Yes. Sorry, guys, just give me 2 seconds. Leroy is in the bathroom and she needs me.
Okay. Oh man, Ree is so cute. Yo, she doesn't want to be left behind. I don't know if some of you don't follow Nthabiseng. You must go check out her videos or follow her page actually, and see the videos that she posts with her daughter. They are incredible. I feel like Rui was born for this. She's following in the very big and beautiful footsteps of mommy. So for some of you that are probably logged in for the first time, I will share this or save this on my Instagram TV. So you can always go and refer to it later if you want to see it later. And thank you for the beautiful comments that I see coming through, and for you guys being here. I just want to scroll down and see what question I can ask her when she gets back.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Is she sorted? Is she fine?
She's fine, and now she's back here.
That's fine. She's very well behaved. I mean, I have a boy, and I'm like, yay. Bokao at that age was no way like we would have ended this live chat. So God must just do best and give me a girl next time, because boys are hectic, eh? Boys are hectic.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get a girl. Your next one will definitely be a girl.
I receive.
So yeah, as I was saying, what are you helping me with, Mama? No. No. Sit with baby like this, okay? And listen to mommy and watch mommy. So yeah, like I was saying, sometimes you will negotiate rates, they will agree, and then I was talking about like when they approve content. No, Ruby, don't make mommy upset, okay? Sit still with mommy, okay? So sometimes they will say that, oh no, this is not what we're looking for, please go and reshoot, and you must go and start from scratch. And that is the part that I do not enjoy at all, because it's a lot of work, especially if it includes Leroy in it. Then yeah, it's draining. But I mean, at the end of the day, I really enjoy as much. Oh, we put a
Yay, your dolly! She's beautiful. Yeah, she's big like you.
So as much as I was saying that, you know, like influencing didn't choose me, whatever, but I mean, influencing chose me. I really do enjoy creating content. Like I really enjoy it. So at the end of the day, the satisfaction I get as soon as I've done a campaign, and you know a brand is happy with the content I've produced, then that surpasses all the time I had to go and reshoot and rework and think about a different script, etc. Because that's how much, like, I really love it. So at the end of the day, it just becomes worth it. So yeah, I don't know if there's something I missed with this particular question, but I mean, you can ask a follow-up question, or people can ask a follow-up question if they want to as well.
Yeah, I think she did ask a follow-up question to say, when the brands, so in terms of that, you know, with you planning with the brands and the work that you've got to deliver when you're working on a campaign, do they ask you about conversions? And because we know that in the world of influencing, I think engagement is the key thing. So how much engagement you actually have. So I think it's a world that the world really is trying to figure it out. And like you said, it's not very regulated. So you almost have to decide yourself, this is how much I am worth, and this is how it's gonna go. But just to sort of justify your worth to a brand, do they ask you about your conversions and engagements, and how technical does it get really?
So they don't ask you. I think for me, I feel like they do the work. They'll just look at your profile, obviously, and then they will see something that they like about you as a brand. But in terms of engagement, they don't specifically say we want to see your insights, because when you have changed your profile to like a brand or a business, you do have insights where you can see, you know, the amount of followers, engagements, etc., and the activity of your followers. But they don't ask for that information. So, and also remember that brands work with different kinds of influencers. There's nano influencers, there's micro, there's macro, there's celebrities. So depending on the kind of influencers they want to work with, they're not necessarily going to compare between different influencers, engagement, and, you know, number of followers, etc. If they want to diversify and say we want 5 influencers that have 5,000 followers, that's where they'll start, and then they will get another pool of influencers that have maybe between 20,000 and 50,000, and then that's where those are the influencers they'll work with. And if they want to work with influencers between 50K and 100K, or whatever the case is, then those are the people that they will choose. So it depends on the brand and what the brand is trying to achieve with the campaign. And also there are platforms or apps like the Humans app. So a lot of this is an app. Okay, Julia Stella Mamos. Yeah, Julia Stella. Yeah. So so this is an app where like small influencers can, it's not even small influencers, but influencers can sign up on the app and they post campaigns on there. They post campaigns that come up, and if you're interested in working in a particular with a particular brand on a campaign that has been, put up there, then you can bid on that. Rui, what's going on, Mama? Sit still, ne? Sit still, Mama. I'm almost done. Okay. What?
She's probably wondering, Mommy. She's probably wondering, Mommy, are you getting paid for this? This is my time. Are you getting paid? Like,
Rui, what do you want, Auntie? Look, they say hi, guys.
hello. Hello,
Say
beautiful.
hi, guys.
Are you complaining?
You are being naughty.
We're going to take just 10 more minutes of your mom's time, Nana. Ne? Just 10 minutes.
Help you with what? Yeah? Okay, I'm coming out.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm coming in. Sit here. Okay, be still, Ruby. Now you're being naughty. Be still, okay? I'm almost done. So, where was I? So yeah, I mean, different types of influencers can sign up on this app, and then you bid for a campaign. So there'll be a campaign there, yeah, brand, Liquid Fruit, for example. People will bid there, and they will tell you that they want followers they want influencers who have followers starting from, for example, 5,000. I think most of them, Dikalaka, 5,000 followers, So if you are in that category, then you can bid, and then they will look at your profile. I don't know how, honestly, they look at the influencers that they will eventually choose on that app, but you will bid, and then they will let you know that you were successful, and then they will continue working with you on that campaign. But to answer the question again, I have not been requested like for engagements. The only thing that will happen is that after a campaign has gone live on my feed, then they will want to see insights. And I think mainly it's because of they just want to see it for themselves, whether this campaign did work or did perform the way they had expected, whether they should continue investing money into doing these kinds of campaign because they are working, But to ask for my personal engagement to see like how many likes I get and whatever, no, they haven't asked that of me.
Okay. I guess the page speaks for itself. I mean, we go on and we already see. I don't know what they obviously have as companies. They have a different lens. What's the name of that you said? I just want to put it here as a comment. The name of the platform.
It's Humans with a Z at the end.
Okay, please spell it for me. I can't quite hear that.
Human, like as in a human being, but with a Z, humans. Yeah.
Okay.
HUMANZ.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And I think so. I mean, you've shared really great insights. It's a world that we are all like now learning, and because you obviously have the experience, it's been so great to hear you share about that. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Because we've got about, let's see, how many more minutes? 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes. So I just want to touch on the personal side a little bit to say, obviously you are juggling all of this, and it's content creation is a lot, and you're doing risk management. I can imagine your job also requires you to do quite a lot during the day, and that's why the planning is important. Now, just as in Nthabiseng, and also in Nthabiseng having to be the wife and mother, and all these roles that you play, how do you fill your cup? How do you make sure that that cup is filled to the brim? Because you can't give off an empty cup.
Yeah, like the one thing I don't compromise on is making time for myself and making time for the things that I enjoy doing. My husband knows of this. It's priority for me. It's priority for me that I sit in the bedroom alone, read a book, or I run a bath, sit in the bathtub for an hour reading a book, or just like unwinding, in the bathtub, or on a Saturday leaving him with our daughter and just waking up, going to the mall, Even if I cannot cheleta reka, but just strolling there and window shopping, or buying stuff that I really like if I do have the money to buy. But like I make sure that I prioritize time to do the things that I love, because I feel like if I don't get to do that, I'm gonna lose myself in the process, because I'm gonna forget who Nthabiseng is. I'm gonna be busy trying to fill these roles of being a wife and a mother and content creator, and because it's so exhausting as well. Like all of these things, the people that you are sort of serving to, they require so much from you that you're always getting asked questions. My daughter's here, always needs my attention. I need to also attend to my husband, and on social media I need to attend to my followers as well, because they're always asking me questions. Like my DMs are always crazy. People are always asking, oh, Kana, last week you posted about this. Kana, who was that person? Oh, Nthabiseng, I forgot. Kana, where did you say you bought this and that? Oh, can you please send me a picture of this? And I mean, I'm not complaining. I enjoy sharing all of that with everyone, but it can be so exhausting. And I feel like if I don't make time for myself to just remind myself, oh, yo, I'm also a human being. I also have my own needs, and if I don't take care of myself, I'm gonna go crazy. So for me, it's just prioritizing the things that I really love and making sure that I don't compromise on them. My husband knows of this. When it's time for me to take a bath, and like nkampaning leruwa ska hlapa, nkampaning batho ba ska ja, I'd rather have people not eat dinner, but it's my time. If there's no plan to have food, then it's not my problem, but I need to take a nap, or I need to take a bath, I need to read, I need to drive out. And like with the lockdown, it's been crazy, because I actually was reading a blog post you posted, your most recent one that you posted with this lady who had a baby on her back, and I could relate with her story about how going to work was a time for herself, an escape from being a mom. And those drives to the office, those are things that I also used to enjoy so much, like singing in the car by myself. It was like time for myself, and escaping away from being a mom, being a whatever and whatever. So I could relate so much to that. And like during lockdown, it's so difficult because you are here with all of these responsibilities. You can't run away from them. So that's why I'm saying that, like, I do not compromise. Like right now, I do not compromise. If haujiwing company was kajiwa, if ruya happy, then I'm sorry, but it's not my problem. But I'm also exhausted. I need to have time for myself and just forget about responsibilities for a bit, so I can fill this cup. And then I'm glad that, and I'm grateful that I have someone who understands this and who understands how important it is for me. And I mean, it's also very obvious that after it also becomes obvious to him as well that after all of this happens, when I come back, I become a happy mom, I become a happy wife, and life carries on and everyone is happy in the house.
I'm also having my moment of people trying to steal the spotlight. Can I finish? I'm almost finished. Okay. I'll talk to you just now. Yeah, so you see, whether at 2 like Rui or 8 like the brother here, they still demand your attention.
I can see. I thought it was easier because he can understand, but clearly not.
Look, motherhood is a lifetime commitment. So it comes with, in the different phases, it comes with a different commitment. A few minutes, hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm loving what you're saying, that you prioritize that time with self. And I love that, because that's so important. If you are constantly giving of yourself and you're not receiving, and the receiving sometimes comes from you giving yourself that time, and the people around you, your husband, understanding and treasuring that, listen, my wife needs this time. I think that's such a beautiful thing. And you also knowing that it's important to carve out that time for you, because look, we live in a time where it's so easy to be drawn in so many different directions. There's always something, someone needing you for whatever. But if you let Nthabiseng die and do not feed Nthabiseng, then that's a problem, because you cannot give to these people that are looking to you for, you know, inspiration and all these things. So that's truly a refreshing thing, and keep it up. And we thank Katlego for being the husband that he is, knowing that his wife is who she is, and she's got all these roles that she does with such grace. You mentioned earlier in the conversation that you do it with such grace. And it can only take someone as amazing as him, I suppose, to have you thrive in the way that you are thriving. So, wow. Somebody asked earlier on, how long have you guys been together?
Yo, guys, for as long as I can remember. So we've been together since 2009. Yeah. So that is 11 years. Yeah. So in August, we'll be 11 years together.
That is a lifetime. That is a lifetime. Sure.
It is.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think when we look at you, we see black love, where you guys are supportive of one another, and the family that you are with Rui now having come into the picture. It's so beautiful to watch. So please keep sharing those bits and pieces of your life, because I think when we look at it, it warms our hearts. And sometimes it's not always going to be, you know, we sit when we've lost hope for whatever reason in our own lives. When we see those snippets, we're just like, you know what, it is possible. So we appreciate it. And I can imagine if him being a partner to someone like yourself, also having to understand and embracing that about you, to say, you know what, this is what my wife is doing, and this is what we are doing together as a family, and it's okay, and I'm for sharing these bits and pieces of our lives. So thank you. I want to thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. So I think
it was not easy, to be honest with you, for him.
It was not easy.
No, it was not easy for him to. He's a very reserved person, and so, you know, for him it felt like he's being in the spotlight, or he's oversharing, or I'm oversharing rather. So it had to take a lot of convincing and explaining, and but like now he understands that, you know, it's become a part of something that I'm doing as a hobby, but also as a passion of mine, and it's obviously making money, so it's like he's okay.
Yeah, the Machapura. Yeah, he had no choice but to see it and be like, okay, babes, I'm with you on this one. The money's coming in. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. So just in closing, because I'm cognizant of time, we have like exactly 2 minutes, and Instagram has this thing where it will say you've got 2 minutes left, but it will cut you off the live thing. Just as in parting, what's your life philosophy? Just in like 30 seconds to 1 minute, what is it that is your life philosophy?
I think it's that when you have a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. I live by those words, and I try to remind myself every day of being grateful for the little that I have, or the big that I have, because, you know, sometimes you can think that what you have is small, but when you think about other people and what they are lacking, and you compare it to them, then you actually see how abundant it is. So I always try to remind myself that if I'm grateful for what I have right now, I'm going to definitely attract a whole lot more, and it's an opportunity for God to also bless me with a whole lot more, because He can see that I'm able to handle the little that I have right now, and I don't complain about what I have and always wish for more. So yeah, for me it's just that, like, having a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles, and just always reminding myself to be grateful for what I have in all seasons of my life that I may be going through, always looking for the positive. Say, if this is difficult, but it's trying to teach me something, and surely, I mean, it's not as bad as I make it out to seem. I'm still grateful because I do have this and this and that.
It's gonna cut us off. It's gonna cut us off. It's cutting us off. The time is going. Thank you. It's gonna be saved on my IGTV. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. It's been lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad. Saudi.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.